Hey, what's going on, guys? We are live here to break down the four-game NBA slate. Let's do it in the Christmas season, right? Got the little Santa hat, but let's, as always, we got 30 minutes to lock. There is still a lot of information that we don't know, right? A lot of guys are questionable. Domantas Sabonis is pretty big news, as well as Jeremy Lamb. But let's just go over what we know so far. We can take a look at the numbers, the over-unders and the spreads, and then we can get to players, their prices, and questions at the end. So let's just jump into it. Wes Matthews, probable. So I'd assume he probably picks at the start once again, and the Ersan moves back to the bench. George Hill, questionable. That's somewhat big news. If he misses, those other secondary pieces would get a pretty decent boost there. Kawhi Leonard ruled out. We expected that. Let's see. And then that is what we got so far. Yeah, George Hill game time decision. Wesley Matthews probable. So let's take a look at some of these numbers here. Hornets Celtics at 209. Boston favored by 12.5. Pacers Bucks at 219.5. The Bucks are by 8. Clippers Thunder 222. The Clippers are by 2. And the late night hammer is the Nuggets Lakers sitting at 208.5 with the Lakers favored by 3.5 points. But black screen. Let's see. Oh, hold on. Sorry about that. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Should be better now. Let's see, hold on. Okay, I think it's... Can you guys see now? Sorry about that. Yes, okay, now. Okay. My fault. But, okay. Back to the numbers again. Basically, what I make out of this is the first game definitely has some blowout risk here with, good now. Okay, perfect. Sorry about that, guys. Hornets Celtics, the first game, again, this has the most blowout risk, 12.5 points. The three Boston guys look pretty appealing. But again, it's whether or not you think the Hornets can keep this game close. And then also, the Bucks game does have some blowout risk as well with, Sabonis and Jeremy Lamb both questionable. If they both miss, that increases the chance of blowout in my opinion. So those are the two that have the most blowout risk. But Sabonis Lamb game time decision, yeah, that kind of is annoying. But let's just go team by team here, and then we can get to questions at the end. So starting on the Charlotte side, I would say probably Charlotte is my least favorite team to target on this slate. Graham and Rozier are decent options. I think I'd prefer Rozier. It is a revenge game. He's been good the last couple of games. Just to note, though, both him and Kemba were terrible in the same spot earlier this season in the revenge game. So that's just something to note. But I guess I would prefer Rozier over Graham. Not super, super high in either, though. I don't think we have to go there. And then the bigs, it's tough because they started Nick Batum last game. Batum is the flat minimum price. Now, he did play 30 minutes, so this is interesting. If he starts again, I would definitely have some interest there, just because, again, he's flat minimum. If he starts, I think he gets about 25 or so minutes, so that is something to keep an eye on for sure. And then as far as the bigs go with Cody Zeller, Biyombo, Marvin Williams, Cody Zeller ended up coming out the bench, right? Only played 23 minutes. He does have the most upside of those bigs, but his price is also 6.1K, and it comes out the bench. I don't know if he plays huge minutes. Biyombo, not really for me either. Again, don't think we have to do it. Marvin Williams, I have some interest in if he gets like 25 minutes, which I kind of assume he does. So I have some interest there. As far as the other pieces like Bridges and Malik Monk, not really for me. So I guess to sum it all up, I would have I have some interest in here Batum if he does start again. Minimum price, I assume he gets about 25 minutes, so he would become a pretty solid value play. And then, Rozier, I guess, would be my second favorite player. But all in all, Charlotte, again, probably my least favorite team. I don't think they've come out with a starting lineup yet, or at least I haven't seen it. Let's see. Yeah, Sabonis, Jeremy Lamb still game time. Oh, they did. So, okay. Graham, Rozier, Batum, Bridges, and Biyombo. So, with Nick Batum starting now, I think he gets about 25 or so minutes. He's not a super high usage guy, but at the flat minimum price, he doesn't have to do a whole lot. So, he stands out as a pretty decent value play, in my opinion. And then that's basically what I got for Charlotte. As far as the Boston side, so this is more clear cut for me. It's the top three with Kemba, Tatum, and Brown. All three have been playing really well. Kemba did have that one off game last game, 0 of 6, let a lot of people down. He was chalky. But again, revenge spots. This is a very good matchup for them. There is some blowout risk for sure. Again, 12.5 point spread. But with Kemba, Brown, Tatum, and Brown, I have no issue with any of those three. I like those three a good amount. It's just whether or not you think Charlotte keeps this game close. If you do, you probably play one, maybe even two. If you think it blows out, maybe you just fade the Boston guys. So that's how kind of I would go about it. And then the centers, I do have some interest here in Cantor for GPPs. The issue is his price is coming up, right? 4.9K. But the good thing is he's gotten over 20 minutes the last 3 games. So I do have some interest in Cantor for GPPs. Tice, okay, but I would just prefer Cantor for a little bit more. Wanamaker, you could look there, but don't know if we have to do it. I think there's better value plays with like Rondo, Kuzma, even Batum, I guess. I'd probably prefer the min price. So I don't think we have to go there, and that's basically what I got for Boston. So this first game, there's not a whole lot I like on the Charlotte side. I think Batum stands out as a decent cheap option at the min price. And then the big three for Boston, you probably play one, maybe even two of those guys if you think the game if it stays close. If you think it blows out, maybe you just fade the game in general. But that's what I got for the first game. As far as Pacers, Bucks, so this is a little bit harder to break down because we have two guys on the Indiana side that are questionable. One, their main guy here, Sabonis, 8K. So this is huge. If he misses, that obviously is a boost to these other guys, but it also increases the chance of a blowout. So if Sabonis misses, I would really like Miles Turner at this price at 5.1K. I think he probably gets 30 minutes, even bench spots. I think he stands out as a good option, and then if Sabonis misses, he stands out as a pretty good option. It's just, he's probably going to have a good game if Indiana's going to keep this game close. And then other options, the secondary pieces, you can take shots here, like TJ Warren. I'm not a super big TJ Warren fan because he's very scoring dependent. But with Sabonis out of there, that's a lot of usage to go around. So you could take a shot there. Jeremy Lamb, again, he is questionable. If he misses, the two Holiday brothers get a boost here with Justin and Aaron. I think I'd prefer Aaron to Justin. And then even a guy like TJ McConnell, who hasn't been playing huge minutes. But I think if Jeremy Lamb misses, I think McConnell probably gets about 20, and he's been a really high usage guy this season. So at this price, I would very much consider him if Jeremy Lamb's out. Again, we'll see what they do with the starting lineup. If both Lamb and Sabonis are out, I would be, it's going to be interesting to see what they do because, I don't know who they would start really at the 4, maybe Justin Holiday or maybe even McDermott. I don't know what they would do, but that's kind of what I got. Again, it's a little bit tricky just because those guys are game time decisions. Now, if Sabonis plays, I would have some interest there. Again, he's been really consistent, really safe. I think he gets you 35 to 45 fantasy points. So I would have some interest, not a whole lot if he plays. But if he misses, again, it's really Miles Turner would be the direct beneficiary in my opinion. And then Brogdon would probably have to have a big game revenge spot as well. And then you can take shots on these cheaper guys like Warren, the two Holidays, and TJ McConnell. On the Bucks side, so again, this game is sitting at 8.5 point spread. So there is some blowout risk, but Giannis, he's at 11K, and anytime you can project Giannis to get 4 quarters of action, you got to have interest. Again, there is some blowout risk, but if he gets 4 quarters, I think he can crush this salary. So I do have a good amount of interest in Giannis. It's just whether or not you think this game stays close. If you do, you probably play Giannis, in my opinion. I just think he stands out as a really good play at that price tag. And then Middleton, you can definitely go there too. He was very good in limited time in that game against the Knicks, 24 minutes, 44 fantasy points. If you can't get up to Giannis, I definitely don't mind playing Middleton. He stands out as a safer option in my opinion. And then George Hill is questionable. That's somewhat big, right? He was the guy who was getting about 20 or so minutes, so those minutes have to go somewhere. DiVincenzo gets a boost, but the price came up to 5.7. You can. I just don't feel great about that. Brooke Lopez, again, he's had a couple pretty good games back to back, but his price is coming up. I don't mind it if you want to go there, but I don't think I'm going to go out of my way to get him. Ursan started that last game, got 19 minutes. Now, with Wesley Matthews back, that probably means he's going to move back to the bench role and probably play about 17 minutes like he was before. So, yeah, he wouldn't be, if he does continue to start, I would have a lot more interest. But he comes to the bench, I think he's more of just a GPP option. And then the other guys like Sterling Brown, Connaughton, Wes Matthews, Corver, don't feel great about those guys. I just don't think we have to do it on this slate. So all in all, on the Milwaukee side, it's the big two with Giannis and Middleton. I do have a good amount of interest in both those guys if you think that game stays close. And then the value guys are okay options. Again, we got to wait for the news there with George Hill. We move on to the Clippers and the Thunder. So the Clippers have a good amount of interest in. This is, I think the highest over-under, right, at 222. No Kawhi Leonard, so there's a lot of usage to go around. So obviously Paul George, revenge spot. I have a good amount of interest in him. I like Montrez, and I like Lou Williams, as well as Pat Beverly. Those four all stand out as really solid plays. I think the Clippers, it's close to the Clippers and the Lakers, so my two favorite teams to target on this slate. Again, I think those two would probably be my favorite. All four of these guys stand out as pretty good options. Again, no Kawhi. That's just a lot of minutes and usage to go around. So all four of those guys, I like a good amount with Paul George, Harrell, Lou Williams, Pat Beverly. I don't think Paul George is like a must play, right? Because we got Giannis, we got AD. But if you can't get to Paul George, have no issue if you spend down a bit for Harrell, Lou Williams, or Pat Beverly. Those four, I do have a good amount of interest in. As far as the really cheap guys, like Zubac can get you there in limited time. I think he's more of a GPP option. JaMychal Green is still questionable. Oh, he's available to play. Okay. So with him available, I do have some interest. I'm just worried they might limit his minutes. We'll see. This is a situation where you can take a shot, but I wouldn't feel great about how many minutes he's going to play. So that's more GPPs. Harkless, okay, but JaMychal Green back, that kind of takes a hit to him. All in all, really, this team is just no one ever stands out. I know I kind of repeat myself with OKC, but no one ever stands out as a great play to me. They're always all healthy. They're always all in the 6 to 7K range with Paul, SGA, Gallinari, Schroeder, and Adams. It's a revenge spot for Chris Paul. He's had some upside games here recently. Don't mind it if you want to go there, but I just don't know if it works with roster construction purposes as of right now. Right now, my build is Giannis and AD, and then some cheaper guys as of right now. Again, things can change, but so the mid-tier, these guys in this price range is a little bit tricky to get in. So yeah, like I said, Chris Paul, SGA, Gallo. I don't have an issue with these guys. Schroeder has been really good. Honestly, he's gotten over 30 minutes. He's flashed the upside, so he would probably be my preferred target there in OKC. Adams has been okay as well. I just don't think all these five stand out as amazing plays. Now, if you're a guy that's going to load up on the Clippers, right, if you're going to play 2 or 3 of those Clippers guys, which I think is perfectly fine. I like the Clippers a lot. Maybe you run it back with one of these OKC guys, right? So that's kind of how I would go about it. As far as a cash game perspective, again, I don't mind these guys. I just don't see myself getting to them for my one lineup. If you're making multiple lineups, of course you can take shots on these guys. All 5 are viable. They just don't stand out as amazing plays to me, which is kind of been the whole year with them. I just never really none of those guys really stand out as great plays. If we move on to Denver and the Lakers, so Jokic is an interesting spot here at 9.2K. I think he goes a lot lower owned tonight because, just in my opinion, I think Anthony Davis and Giannis can be super high owned. So I think Jokic kind of goes forgotten about, but he's 9.2K. That's really cheap. He's got triple double upside. It's not necessarily the best spot, but I like the price a lot on him. And if you're a guy that's going to be loading up the Lakers, right, if you're going AD, Rondo, and Kuzma, who I think are going to be pretty popular, then maybe you run it back with Jokic. So, let's see. Skip that. But yeah, that's how I would go about it. So Jokic, I do like a good amount at that price. I think he goes a lot lower owned in GPPs. And then Jamal Murray and Barton are also intriguing at their prices. Jamal Murray, we know he has upside. He's had 40 fantasy points in 2 of the back-to-back games. Will Barton had an off game that last game, but he is a guy that fills up the stat sheet. Wouldn't mind going there. Millsap is questionable, so that's somewhat big news. If he misses, Jeremy Grant will probably start. But also Mason Plumlee. He got 34 minutes in the game against the Knicks, and he played a lot alongside of Jokic. if I remember correctly. Jokic played 36. Mason Plumlee played 34. Normally, Plumlee just plays the backup. But if Paul Millsap misses, I think Mason Plumlee gets a decent amount of run at the 4 because the Lakers run big. So I would have a decent amount of interest there in Plumlee. So that is something we will have to keep an eye on. If Millsap plays, wouldn't be huge on Plumlee. But if Millsap does miss, I think Plumlee will get some run at the 4, and I would have some interest there at that price. But that's what I got for Denver. Last team here is the Lakers, and I have a decent amount of interest in these guys. They're going to be pretty popular in my opinion. So LeBron is doubtful. That's huge news, right? There's just a lot of usage in minutes to go around. Anthony Davis is going to be their go-to guy. Again, know what you're getting into with AD. He's made of glass. He's always injured, but it's a shot I'm willing to take in a 4-game slate. I'm only playing GPPs, so I'm willing to take that risk. And if Anthony Davis gets injured, I lose. It is what it is. The 2 bigs I have interest in as well. Like, I know LeBron doesn't really play the same position as Dwight and JaVale McGee, but there's just a lot of minutes to go around. I think Anthony Davis shifts more to the 4. And Denver runs big as well. I don't think they want Anthony Davis guarding Jokic a lot. So I think Dwight and McGee maybe get the 48 minutes combined. We'll see. And in that situation, that's when you want to target these guys. So I have some interest there in both McGee and Dwight. And I think those guys go lower owned compared to Rondo, Kuzma, and AD. So if you're taking ownership in consideration, maybe take a shot in one of these centers. Again, I do have some interest there. Rondo's going to be really popular. I think with no LeBron, he just stands out as a really safe option at this price. I think he probably starts and gets 25 to 30 minutes. And if that's the case, I love him at that price. He's going to be really chalky, but I'll probably eat the chalk if he starts. Even if he comes off the bench, I still have interest there. Kuzma as well. He's missed the last few games, but he's going to be back for this one. Now, the concern is they might limit his minutes, but either way, at this price, I don't think he's going to kill you. So I have interest in him as well. And then the other secondary pieces like Danny Green, KCP, and Avery Bradley, you can definitely take shots there. They're a little bit more scoring dependent, so they're riskier options in my opinion, but I think, let's see what else we got. Batum starting, yep. So I think those guys are definitely, viable for GPPs for sure. Oh, Patrick Beverley just got ruled out. Okay. So let's go back to the Clippers really quick. With Pat Beverley now out, they could start Lou Williams. We'll see what they end up doing. They did give Derek Walton Jr. a couple starts. When Beverley was out, he had 30 minutes. Now, he's a very low usage guy, but at the min price, kind of like a Batum, right? So you could definitely go there. With Pat Beverley out, he wasn't a super, super high usage guy, but now I just like Lou Williams, Montrez, and Paul George even more. So I definitely want to get some of those Clippers guys in there, and I might have to rearrange my lineup here really quick. But we got 12 minutes to lock, so I'll try to answer some questions here. Okay. Oh yeah, sorry guys. Play Lou for sure. Yeah, I think Lou stands out as a pretty solid play now with no Pat Beverley. Tatum, Brown, or Brogdon in tiers. I think Tatum and Brown have more upside right now, so I would go one of those two. It's basically a coin flip with those guys, right? I never feel like one stands out as better than the other, so I would definitely go probably Batum or Brown there. Who should I play instead of Beverley? Rondo for sure. Rondo's going to be chalk if you don't have him. I guess it really depends. I don't really know who else you have in your lineup. Look for Rondo or Warren in the same price range. Yeah, Warren's a guy you can take a shot on as well. I got Rondo, Brogdon, AD, George, Dwight Howard, missing shooting guard, Harrell, and Zubac. Okay, so instead of Beverley, you do have 3 Clippers. You have Dwight. You could... I don't know. I would maybe try to get up to Lou Williams and then downgrade somewhere else. Maybe like put Kuzma as a value guy. Monk is our guy. He will score 35. He's a guy you can take a shot on. What's his price? He's 3.8. The minutes are all over the place with him. So yeah, you can definitely take a shot there. I would feel more comfortable with Batum, honestly, if he plays 30 minutes again. So I think I'm going to try to get Derek Walton Jr. Yeah, so Walton Jr. could start. Again, he started those last couple of games with when Pat Beverley was out. So I would have some interest there. How do you feel about Kuzma? I mean, if he's not going to be on a minutes limit, I think he stands as a really good play at that price. Him, Rondo, and Anthony Davis are going to be really chalky, but I'm probably going to eat the chalk on all 3. And then, again, Dwight and JaVale McGee, I think, go a lot lower owned, but those guys have upside as well. Pat Bev is out, so Lou Williams is a smash. I think, yeah, they could start Lou Williams at the point. They could start Derek Walton Jr. Schroeder, a solid play, so he would be my favorite OKC guy just because he's flashed the most upside. Dwight Howard played more minutes than JaVale last time out against Denver. That is a good call as well. Those guys are really close, but yeah, both those guys are viable. Is Pat Beverly in play? No, Pat Bev got ruled out. Warren or Lamb for cash? Well, right now we have Lamb questionable, so I would go Warren. Miles Turner or Brook Lopez if LeBron misses minutes for McGee and Howard. Kuz, can I play? Yeah, so I would go Miles Turner there, but that's on the fact of if Sabonis misses. Even if Sabonis plays, I still think I'd prefer Miles Turner to Brook Lopez. And then as far as McGee and Dwight, I think those guys combined for close to 48 minutes. I don't know if they play the whole 48. I think maybe like McGee gets like 18 and like Dwight gets like 22, maybe something like that. Kuz, can I play? Yeah, I think Kuzma stands out as a pretty safe option, in my opinion. Let's see. Also, how do you feel about Doug McDermott if Sabonis is ruled out? You can take a shot there. He's very scoring dependent, but Indiana would be pretty thin if those guys are out. My line is Rondo, Lou, PG-13, AD, Harrell, Schroeder, Kuzma, and Tice. Yeah, I like that a lot. Pope or Biyombo for cash. I would probably go... We're talking about KCP, right? Contavious Caldwell Pope. I guess KCP, I don't feel great about either of those guys. So do you like Jaylen Brown or CP3 in the utility? So it's whether or not do you think Charlotte keeps it close? If you do, I definitely think you go Jaylen Brown. If you think the game blows out, then I think you would go CP3. So that's up to you. Again, it is a 12.5-point spread, so there is some blowout risk for sure. I think I'm going to fade this first game. That's what I had right now, but I might try to get Batum now in since he's the flat min. We'll see. Again, Batum's not a guy that's going to go out and get me like 35, but if he gets like 20 to 25 with a flat min, I think that's, I'll definitely take that. Mo Harkless is solid tonight, and Kyle Korver. Yeah, you can go to, I would definitely prefer Harkless over Korver. Sabonis is going through his normal warm-up. Okay. So thanks for tagging me that. If he is, I assume he plays, which definitely is a downgrade to Miles Turner. Let's see. Yeah, I'm still trying to play around with my lineup here. I might fade the first game too. It's either really Batum for me or that's it. I'm personally going with the blowout factor. Again, if you think that game stays close, you probably play one or two of those Boston guys. So it's whether or not, again, it's up to you guys and whether or not you think that game stays close. Tatum and Batum or Schroeder and Tice. I would go Tatum and Batum there. Is Lamb a good pick for shooting guard? I mean, he's still questionable, right? So we don't know. Tyson get 25. Yeah, I think he can. I think he's a safe option, right? He's not. I don't think Tice will kill you. I think he gets 20. Like he's got 22 minutes back-to-back games, so I think he probably gets you 15 to 25, somewhere in that range. So, like I said, I don't think he's going to kill you. So I think he can get you 25. I think that's more on the high end, but that's definitely viable. Man, do I fade Batum or not? LOL. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm thinking too. Let's see. Thoughts on Giannis versus AD? So I definitely think Giannis has more upside, and if that game stays close, I think Giannis will probably do better taking salary into consideration. But there is more blowout risk there, and so yeah, it's a close call. I would go Giannis, but just saying it right now, I have both those guys in my lineup. I'm going a bit more stars and scrubs here with I got Giannis, AD, and then some of those Clippers guys, and I'm playing a lot of the Lakers value. But don't forget about the Boston guys. Like, I'm not saying these guys are bad plays. I like Kemba, Tatum, and Brown a lot. I'm just taking the stand in this game blows out. So I don't think those guys, if the game blows out, I don't think they can kill me. But if this game stays close, I think one of those guys maybe could really hurt me for not having them in my lineup. Let's see. I got 4,100 left for utility. Not much down here. LOL. Yeah, you already got a lot of those Lakers guys, right? So let's see. 4,100. I would consider TJ McConnell if Jeremy Lamb is out for sure. I like his upside, or you could take a shot in one of those Lakers guards with Danny Green and KCP. You could go Jeremy Grant if Plumlee's out. Again, it's kind of tricky to break down because we have a lot still up in the air, but yeah. Oh, let's see. I got Ronda. Do you like Wes Matthews at 3,200? Not really. I think I would personally prefer Nick Batum at the flat min price to Wesley Matthews. Or you could go Derek Walton Jr. too if he starts. I'm not a big Wesley Matthews guy because he's very, very scoring dependent. He did play well that last game. He's also dealing with a thigh bruise. He has to hit his threes, right? If he's knocking down his threes, he can get you there, but he's just not someone I like personally playing a lot for DFS. I got Rondo, Brogdon, Anthony Davis, George, Dwight Howard, Lamb, Harrell, and Zubac. This is a solid team. Yeah, I like that a good amount. Again, you got to keep an eye on the Lamb news, though. PJ13, Trez, Lou, AD season. Yeah, I like the Clippers a lot, and AD as well. Turner or Howard. So with Sabonis now warming up and looking like he's going to go, I might lean towards Dwight Howard there. First, taking salary into consideration, right? Like straight up, I would go Turner, but Howard is cheaper. So I might go Dwight Howard there. Yeah, I think him and JaVale McGee are going to have a lot lower own in the slate, but I think both those guys are going to have to combine for close to 48 minutes. Batum and Tatum or Brown and Matthews. I would go Batum and Tatum there. I just personally feel better playing Batum versus Wesley Matthews because Batum is a guy that he doesn't score the ball a lot, but he gets you the rebounds, the assist, the steals, and the blocks. And if he knocks down a couple threes, right, he can definitely get you there. Well, as Wes Matthews is all he does is score. So if his shot's not falling, he can get you like 5 fantasy points. So that's why I just think I would take the safety in Batum. Again, if Wesley Matthews is knocking down his threes, he probably has more upside, but I would personally just go Batum there. Don't forget about Plumlee. Lakers run big, and Jokic isn't stopping anyone. Yeah, like I said, and if Millsap misses, I think Plumlee could play some 4, which would be pretty big. Rondo, Lou, Giannis, AD, Dwight, Batum, Harrell, McConnell, my line. We are on very, very similar pages there, so no, almost identical to my lineup as usual. You always seem to come up with almost the same lineup as me. Rozier or Jamal Murray. I would go Jamal Murray there. I don't know. I don't feel great about Rozier. DiVincenzo, Lopez, or Schroeder and Holiday. Which Holiday? But I think I would go Schroeder and Holiday there. Okay, we are at lock, though. I can go over some ownership here in a sec. Let's see. We have a nice slate from Monday. Pretty excited about this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games. So I'll have that video up later tonight, guys. And then we don't have a slate until Christmas, which I'm also super excited about. But yeah, let's go over some ownership here in the tournaments that I entered. So we can look at the $44. Does Rodney McGruder role change at all? he might get some more run. What's his price at? He's at 3.1. I wouldn't feel great about it, but he's like a dart throw, right? You can do it. I just in one lineup I can't do it. Dwight benefits with LeBron off the floor. At least that's what the stats say. Jokic big ass ain't guarding anyone at all. Yeah, like I said, I think those Lakers bigs probably combined for close to 48 minutes with McGee and Dwight. Praying Lamb is out. Gonna head out though. Good luck tonight, DK. Hopefully it's a repeat of yesterday for you. LOL. Hey, thanks, man. Good luck as well. Let's go over some ownership. So Batum in the $44 is 34% owned. Again, at the min price, I don't think he'll kill me. You never know, though. Like, those minutes aren't necessarily secure. He could start and play like 15 minutes. We've seen the inconsistent rotations for Charlotte, so I wouldn't be super surprised if that happens. Hopefully it doesn't, though. Let's take a look at other guys. Cantor, 11%. Jason Tatum, 20%. Kemba, 15%. So those guys, like I said, I liked those Boston guys. I'm just going with the fact that the game blows out and, hoping they don't get full 4 quarters of action. Gonna make my up my shift for NBA. NFL was really bad for me. I think I'll be done with NFL DFS forever. Yeah, so I've been taking a break with NFL DFS just because NBA has been taking up a lot of my time. I have been, again, doing the showdown slates, but the main slates for NFL I haven't really been playing since, probably like 3 or 4 weeks ago. But that basically looks like it's it for the first game. I think Batum is the highest owned guy, with Kemba, Tatum, and Brown picking up some ownership as well. A nice 40-50 from Brown and Tatum will be nice. Yeah, they can definitely do that. It's a really good spot, and I like the ownership on all 3 of those Boston guys. I'm taking the stand. The game blows out. If it stays close, I could be in some trouble, but that's a risk I'm willing to take. I want more stars and scrubs with AD, with Giannis, and with some of those Clippers guys in my lineup. But I'm gonna hop out here, guys. I appreciate for all you guys coming to check out the stream. Again, it was a shorter stream Sunday, only 4 games, but again, I really do appreciate all you guys coming to check out the stream. I will have that video up from Monday later tonight. Big 11-game slate, so be on the lookout for that. But good luck, everyone. Hope you win some money, and I will see you guys all back here tomorrow.